so. Let's go and have some adventures. Let's go and have some adventures with Thomas. Let's go and have some adventures. Sodor's a fun place to be. Sodor's greatest adventures. Sodor's greatest adventures.
One day at Beckerstown, Henry was at one of the platforms. The Fat Controller called him down. "There's a film crew coming to Sodor," he said. "They're going to film a movie on the island called Action Engine 4. Is it meant to be part of a trilogy?" "Yes," said the Fat Controller. "I want you, Henry, to take them around the island and see where they want to film the movie." "Oh, yes, sir," said Henry happily. And Henry puffed away to Beckerstown's yard to collect some coaches. Henry soon found some coaches in the yards, coupled up, and puffed away. He soon arrived at Brendan Docks. The film crew was there. "Well, you must be Henry, right?" "Yes, I am," said Henry happily. "Are you the film crew that's going to make a movie known as Action Engine 4? "Yes, we are," said the director. "I am directing the film. Can you take us around the island and find a place for us to film the movie? "Yes, I will," said Henry happily. "Very good," said the director. The film crew got into the coaches and Henry puffed away. Henry showed them around the island. First, they were on the east side of the island. Henry soon puffed them with the coaches. James was in Cronin's Gate sheds, resting. "Hello, Hen," he said. Henry looked over his best friend. "Hello, James," said Henry happily. "What are you up to?" said James. I'm pulling a very important passengers. They are a film crew. They're going to make a movie called Action Engine 4. James was surprised. "Well, they can film my yard if they want to." The director looked. "Not really," he said. "But oh well." "Well, I know just a perfect place," said Henry. "Maybe the shunting yard." "Take us there." "And maybe," said the director. He looked over Henry. Henry was a strong engine after all. "Maybe you're just the perfect engine I need to help to be in the movie." "Wait a minute. I'm going to be in the movie," said Henry. "Yes," said the director. "That's an engine I need for Action Engine 4. I'll make this the greatest movie yet." "With a big strong engine like you," said the director, "you'll be perfect for the movie." James was surprised, but at the same time he felt a bit happy for his best friend. "Good on you, Henry," said James. "Can I maybe be in the film?" said James happily. The director looked. He didn't think James was not a good engine, not even his paintwork or his nameplates. "I'm sorry," said the director, "but unfortunately I want Henry to be in the film." James was cross. "But my shiny red paintwork and my nameplates. And besides, I got my own Bernstein, you know." "Sorry," said the director, "but Henry would be in the movie." James was cross. "Sorry about that, James," said Henry sadly. James was cross. He was jealous of Henry being in the movie. But it was time for his best friend to leave. Henry puffed away. "See you later then," said Henry, and Henry puffed away to the shunting yards to look there. James was cross. "Oh well," said the driver. "I overheard that they might want to take..." "Oh well," said James's driver. "I heard that they may want us to take some props there. Maybe that can help." "I guess," said James. James went to collect some of the props. James soon found some trucks with props, and with that he puffed away. Meanwhile, at the shunting yards, Philip was busy shunting some few trucks. There was some bit of supplies for the film when Henry puffed in with the film directors. The director looked everywhere. He was surprised. "This is perfect," he said. We shall film the movie here. Philip saw this. Oh, are you going to make a movie? Said Philip. Yes, we are, said the director. This is a perfect place. Okay then, said Philip. I'll just shrink these trucks. The director saw Philip shrinking the trucks. He was impressed. Not bad shunting, he said. Just then, everyone heard another diesel horn. It was Boko. He was bringing some surprises from Brendan Dock for the film, like more camera sets and all that stuff. Director was impressed with Boko's strength. Hello, everyone, said Boko. Hello, Boko, said Philip and Henry happily. Just then, James popped in with some props. Here's James. James was trying to show off. He was trying to show the director he could be in the movie. However, instead of impressing with James, the director looked at Boko and Philip. That's it, he said. You're the two kind of diesel engines I need for the movie. Boko and Philip were surprised. A movie? Well, Philip might be good for the movie, said Boko, but I might be far too big or old for a movie. Nonsense, said the director. You're the perfect big diesel engine I need for this movie. Action Engine 4. Your co-star, you'll be filming alongside Henry here. James was surprised. This made him more cross. He tried to show off with his paintwork. Look at my lovely shiny paintwork, said James. And besides, I'll be much more better than them, said James. The director saw James. Oh, not you again. Look, if you want to be useful, he said, you can help deliver some of our props. James was surprised. But that's not in the movie, said James. My final decision is made, said the director. He walked away to get things set up. I'll take your trucks for you, Boko, said Philip. Thank you, Philip, said Boko. The trucks were uncoupled from Boko, and Philip shrunk Boko's trucks with the props of films into a siding. Henry, he went to shrink the coaches just into a siding. Boko went to film fuel, and James was left in a bad mood. Huh, said James. Well, I suppose collecting props isn't a bad idea. Said, I wonder. Maybe I could be a background or something. That would be good. I need to impress them. With that, James puffed away. Later that day, James delivered another supply of props. He was taking on water and coal when he saw the director speaking to Henry, Philip, and Boko, the stars of the movie. Now, said the director, you three will be on a team together. You must take down a set of villains of trains. You're going to pretend, they are like, like, not weird. Shouldn't you get other engines to be those? Said Henry. James heard this. I can do it, said James happily. I can be a villain if you want. No, said the director. We're probably just going to animate them or something. But thank you for your opportunity, he said. James was cross. He's just saying that so that way he doesn't want me in the movie, he said crossly. Just then, James noticed some few trucks. They were empty. Said James. I can probably use those as a background engine. Sure, being a background engine may be boring, but at least I can try. James slowly buffed up to the trucks, and he puffed back with them. Okay, said the director. In this scene, you two are going to be looking around the yard for some clues, said the director. Got it? Yes, said the three engines. James had his trucks ready. Background may be boring, but I have to try somehow, said James. And action! Nothing over here, team, said Henry. Nor here, said Boko. Nor in front, said Philip. This is good, said the director. These three are just the perfect engines for the movie. James saw his chance. Said James. He pushed the trucks and passed over them. Cut, said the director. James, what are you doing? Being a background engine? Said James. You know, shrunk thing. They may not be a lead of the villains, but can I not just work for them? No, said the director. When you're told you're not in the movie, you're told not in the movie. Now put those trucks back where you found them, said the director. Alright, take two. The three engines went back to their places. James was cross. Huh, said James. Let's see about that. Later that day, they were doing another scene of the movie. This involved them at the sheds of the shrunken yards. Right, said the director. For this scene, you three will be going into the shed to look for some more clues until you find the villains. It's in a secret lair, and they are planning, and you must overhear them carefully. But don't forget, these will be pretend. Yes, Mr. Director, said the three engines. However, James was shunting some coaches. There were some actor and actress being workmen. When James saw this and had a plan. I got an idea, said James. James shunted the coaches, and he was going to pretend they were a runaway. And action, said the director. Over here, team, said Boko. Henry and Philip, as train actors, followed Boko. Well, said Henry, looks like they're up to something, aren't they? They are, said Philip. We better check. This is my chance, said James. James uncovered the coaches and pretended they were runaways. Look, runaway coaches, said James. I shall stop them. Cut, said the director. What are you doing? Pretending there's runaway coaches, said James. No, said the director. That is not part of these scripts, and those are the actors' coaches or actors. You can crash those, you know. Oh, and I told you you're not in the movie. James was cross. He was getting fed up listening to the director. Now put those coaches into a sighting, said the director. James was cross. Boko, Philip, and Henry felt bad for James trying to be in the film, but they knew they couldn't do nothing about it at the moment. Alright, take two, said the director. James groaned. Later that day, James arrived with some more props. He put them in siding. He covered behind the trucks of props that he delivered. He was going to put them in siding when he saw Boko, Philip, and Henry doing another scene. The director was telling them the plan. James got back a bit. He wanted to listen. Now, for this scene, said the director, you lot are going to be chasing the criminals. To see where they're going. Yes, sir, Mr. Director, said the three engines. Boko and Henry and Phil were having an enjoyable time as being actor engines, but James was cross. Then had an idea. Maybe I can pretend that there's a runaway trucks, and then, said James, maybe I can maybe be a secret superhero came in and stopped them. Besides, I was Rail Rocket, said James. But James knew he can't tell that to other engines. Anyways, said James. Time for my plan. And action, said the director. They're getting away, said Henry. We must stop them, said Philip. Let's go as fast as we can, said Boko. James then shot forward with the trucks, but James forgot that they had props in them and uncoupled them. Wait a minute, said Henry. Runaway trucks? Henry had to tell the director. Stop, there's runaway props. Cut, said the director. What is it now? There's runaway props and trucks, said Philip. They're not joking, look, said Boko. Go, what the? Said the director. Indeed there was. There was runaway props. Who did this? Don't worry. I'll stop them, said James. But James got away. But however, this was trouble. The props went to a siding and crashed. James saw the props. Oh no, said James. I forgot they were props for the movie, he said. The others arrived. The director got off of Henry's cab. He was so angry with James this time. That's it, he said. How many times do I have to tell you you're not in the movie? He said. I'm sorry, said James. I just want to be in the movie, you know. I have enough with your behavior, said the director. You're ruining this movie, and there's a lot of people out there who've been wanting to see this movie for ages. You're spoiling it. James knew it was all his fault. The director had no choice but to call the Fat Controller in. The Fat Controller soon arrived in his car. Him and the director talked. I am sorry for this, said the Fat Controller. I'll have a word on my engine immediately, he said. Then he turned to James. James, said the Fat Controller. I am not happy with your behavior today. For that, you're pulling off the set. You're no longer going to bring props to the movie. You can go back to your branch line and work on there. James was sad. He was angry, but he knew he deserved his punishment. I'm sorry, said James. With that, another engine can go and collect some new props, said the Fat Controller. With that, James steamed away sadly. Henry, Philip, and Boko felt sorry, but had to get on with the movie. James was sad as he puffed down the line. What have I done? Said James. I should have done these things. I'm a rescue engine, he said. Like when Emily turned to the sea, said James. Just then, James heard a snap. He was on Gordon's hill, and then he saw runaway trucks of props. On, faster, faster, said the trucks. Oh no, said James. They're heading to the film, said James. James knew someone had to stop them. But James thought he shouldn't because he failed and was not being really useful. But he knew as a rescue engine, he must go and help, even if he had destroyed the film set. Come on, James, he said to himself. This time, don't think about the movie. Think about you being a rescue engine, and you must save them, said James. James remembered when he rescued Gordon from runaway trucks one time, back before Spencer joined the railway. James raced off to stop the trucks. Back at the shunting yard, the director was doing another scene with the engines. For this scene, said the director, this will be the final battle, he said. And when you three win the battle, he said, boom, you're the winners. Okay then, said the engine. Just then the workman came in. You must stop the filming, said the workman. There's a runaway train of props coming down the line. Wait, what? Said the engine. If Dad James has something to do with this, said the director, I am going to be cancelling this movie because of him. No, he didn't do it, said the workman. When another engine was pulling these trucks props to here when they broke away. Was he like pushing them or something? I have no clue. But they have broken away on Gordon's hill. Oh dear, said the director. We must get out here at once. But then they heard the trucks coming. On, faster, faster, said the trucks. The trucks wanted to have some fun. Oh no, said Henry. They're going to crash into us. We have to get out of here, said Boko. Then Philip saw something. Look, it's James. Everybody looked. James raced up beside the trucks. Points, he said. He switched on the points. His points switched back to the trucks. James slowed down carefully. With that, he slowed carefully, and the trucks coupled up to him. And then James braked as hard as he can. No, said the trucks, but it was too late. James stopped just in time before hitting any film sets. Everyone cheered. Hip hip hooray! They said. And Henry, Philip, and Boko were pleased. Well done, said Boko. Yes, said Philip. Agreed. Well done, James, said Henry. James smiled. Thank you, said James. The director came over. I am so sorry for my attitude today, James, but what you did really improved me. No, said James. I should apologize. It's my fault trying to be in the movie, said James. I should have listened to you a lot, said James. Just then, the Fat Controller arrived. Right. James, said the Fat Controller. Huh? No, said the director. The Fat Controller was puzzled. He was going to give out to James. Your engine did not did this mess, said the director. Some other engine. These trucks broke away on the hill. Go on, sir, actually, said James. Still, said the director. But your engine have proven me today about my attitude, said the director. So, for that, I want James to be in the movie. James was surprised. But what about the scenes, said James. We already did them. Don't worry, said the director. We can redo them. Really? Said James. Yes, but with you in it this time. And this time, you'll be on the good side. James was happy. He was going to be on a team with his best friend Henry, including Philip and Boko. James was so pleased with himself. Oh, thank you very much, said James. The Fat Controller smiled. James, your behavior may have caused some of this accident, but with that runaway, you're a very useful engine. Yes, said the director, but why do you stop this runaway? Because, said James, I'm a rescue engine. It's my job to protect the east side of the island. The director was even more impressed. That's what I need, he said. I need a rescue engine in this team. You should be part of this team immediately. We'll get your costumes and everything. James was so happy. Oh, thank you very much, he said, and James went to shrink the trucks away. The trucks knew they were in big trouble now. Soon, filming started again, and this time they would do all the scenes, but with James this time. Like the first scene where they arrived at the shunting yards. Then they did the scene where they were looking into the shunting yard sheds. The runaway scene, or the chase scene. And then the last scene of the film for Action Engine 4. Alright, said the director, that should be a wrap for the day. Well done to all four of you, said the director. Good. I really hope this makes the movie at the box office at #1, said the director. And tell you what, we should have the premiere on your railway. Really? Said the engines. Of course, if your controller doesn't mind. The Fat Controller will be pleased, said James. He'll be honored to, said Henry. Yes, said Boko. He'll do anything to help other people in need, said Boko. Indeed, said Philip. Good. We should probably premiere here, said the director. We'll be premiering tonight, he said. The engines can't wait, as they went off to get some water and coal and fuel. Late that night, it was the start of the movie. Welcome, everyone, he said, to the premiere of Action Engine 4, said the director. As in front of us, we have the stars of the movie. Boko, the diesel engine, Philip, the diesel box cab, Henry, the green engine, and James, the red engine, or the rescue engine, of course, on the east side of the island. Everyone was like the Fat Controller was also there. He couldn't wait to see 4 of his engines in action. And, said the director, may I present to you Action Engine 4, he said. Turn on the movie! The movie was turned on as they watched the entire film. Soon the movie was over, but everyone liked the film so much. That was the best action engine movie yet. The Fire Controller smiled at his engines. Well done, said the Fire Controller. You're all being really useful engine. And James, I'm sorry for what happened today. It's my fault, really, sir, said James. I shouldn't have been so jealous, you know. That doesn't matter, said the Fire Controller. All four of you are really useful filmmaking engines. The engines laughed. The Fire Controller walked away. So how would it like to be in the movie, James? Asked Henry. It was fun, said James. What about you lot? I thought it was pretty nice train, said Boko. Yes, said Philip. Indeed, said Henry. But it's always prefer I always prefer working on the railway. Boko and Philip agreed. You know what, said James. Count me in on that. That. I prefer regular work over a movie anyways. But it was a nice change though. Indeed, said Henry. The four engines laughed. James now learned a lesson that when an engine's not needed for a movie or anything else he has to listen, or he had to wait if they change their mind. And that's what James did ever since.
Let's go on have some adventures with Tom and all his friends. So those greatest adventures.